Man, I pressed the button kind of early on that one. I guess I'm excited, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? Welcome. GameFi Podcast. It's your boy, Coach E. Crane Violet in the house. What's going on, everybody? Thanks again for joining us today. I've been here getting crunk on some Juicy J and 3-6 Mafia, having fun, reminiscing about 8 Ball, MJG, UGK, Bun B, and everybody, man. We used to have a whole lot of fun at school, listening to them getting crunk, and you had the Lil Jon, the East Side Boys. Man, I'm serious, man. If I get some of them on the podcast, that'd be great. But welcome, GameFi Podcast once again. Well, we talk everything gaming, arts, anime, music, esports, and film. And today we're going to have a good time. We're just going to keep talking about the industry, the digital entertainment industry as a whole. What's going on here in Atlanta? What's going on in the Southeast region? What's going on around the country? And of course, what's going on around the world and the things that we're doing and the barriers and the obstacles we overcoming and all that good stuff when it comes to industry. And having a lot of fun. So thanks again, your boy, Coach E. Hey, J Black, you know how I call myself DJ such and such, right? I actually met DJ such and such. There's a for real DJ such and such. He in Atlanta. I met him the other day. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, DJ. I was like, how you gonna take my name like that? And he started laughing, man. It was crazy. My Zion, my guy who was on season 1, we did a listening party over at Morris Brown. For him. He's dropping his album on December 12th. Shouts out to Zion Moore doing his thing. So the Barely Legal album, he's going to be dropping out. So we had a lot of fun listening to that. But that was cool. I got to meet DJ such and such. I said, God dog it, man. I said, I should have trademarked that thing. Made me a little bit of money. But nah, I was just kidding. It was cool. It was funny. We started laughing automatically when we did that. But gaming. Oh, man, I don't even have my card out here. So I think I know my buttons now. I don't need my card. Yeah. Do-do-do-do-do-do. GameFi Podcast, everything gaming, arts, music, esports, and film. We are entering into the gaming segment. Come one, come all. Let's talk a little bit of gaming, about what's going on in Atlanta when it comes to gaming, what's happening. We're getting close to the end of the year. Oh my goodness. We're about to have a good time, y'all. All right. December, what's today? December 5th, 4th, 5th? 5th. Oh my gosh, December 5th. My mama's birthday is on the 10th. My mother-in-law, her birthday, she passed away about 4 years ago or 5 years ago. Her birthday is today, so shouts out to Mama Core. Always looking down at God and everything. We went to the grave site, and I was like, just keep looking over us, keep watching over us and everything. But we are slowly moving into that holiday season, continuing it on from our Turkey Day that we had a couple of weeks ago, which was fun. Went down to Florida, had fun, played a lot of old school games. You know, they had the arcade machine. We rent a house for like all the family to come down. And so it was like 12-bedroom joint. It was crazy, we balling out. But they had a game room. So they had foosball, pool. Then we had our PlayStation down there, but it had an old school arcade machine. But it's really a new school arcade machine. They just, the box is different. The guts are new, the box is old. But we were playing Galaga, Centipede, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man. We was playing, and then I was playing I didn't really know that Galaga had a Galaga 2, 3, and 4. They actually produced other ones. And I was playing those, and I was like, these are pretty cool, but they weren't as popular as the original. And that's what all the arcades used to have, the originals up in there. Now, if it was Pac-Man, they were going to have Pac-Man, Baby Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. They were going to have all the Pac-Mans in there. But we had a lot of fun, and the kids got a chance to play it, so I wouldn't let them be on the PlayStation. I actually started playing 2K, NBA 2K. Now, I'm not a for real NBA 2K player, but I was on it for that whole week. So I really got my chops up on the 2K. So, we're going to get us a little 2K tourney coming up soon. and we're gonna make it do what it do. But I made the kids. I was like, no, I'm on the PlayStation. I need y'all to go play the arcade. And they was having fun. They actually enjoyed it. They really did. They really did. But you can't beat the old 8-bit graphics, man. Something about that. Something about the music. Something about pressing the button and
I had a GameCube and we had all the arcade games.
Yeah.
Without arcades, we used to play Galaga on that.
Man, that was my game. I used to let my ship get captured, so I shoot the thing. So I had my double ship, tearing it up, and then I played it so much I knew how the challenges would flow. So I was like busting 100% on the challenges like crazy because I knew I would get my double ship. Man, I kill them. They wouldn't know what was hitting them, man. We was having so much fun. But they had Asteroid on there. Oh man, what else? They had 1943. They had that one on there. They had all those good games, man. Those are a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed those games, man, the old school games. And I think the retro, at least from a design standpoint, a lot of indie developers are using the 8-bit graphics. They're kind of harkening back to that and using that because it really is actually, I don't want to say cheaper, but it is a way for them to really cram a lot of design into like a little package. So it doesn't take a whole lot to render, number one, so you're not trying to render 3D graphics and all of that craziness. But it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed those games. They had this lazy river, and it was heated. So they making a lot of money. Cause they had this big old like pool, lazy river, and it was heated water. So it was like being in the bathtub and you just running around, you just laying, we just floating, man. Yeah, so we had a pool heated, but in the resort, it was Reunion Resort. Shouts out to Reunion, Kissimmee, Florida. You go, they had a putt. We never went because I was either on the video game or I was in the water. That's it. That's all I was doing. I wasn't trying to do a whole lot of extra. I wasn't trying to go to no Disney World, nothing like that either. I was like, I'm gonna keep my money in my pocket. We're gonna cook in the kitchen and have fun. So we would do that the whole time. Really did enjoy ourselves. We always watching football on the Sunday, especially now. And the Chargers just done ran one clean across the doggone field and then got them in there. Good Lord. All right, I don't know. Cincinnati might not make it there, Jay Black. I don't know, man. They tried to mount a comeback, but well, they got time. And then we ain't even gonna talk about the Falcons, but maybe they'll get it together one day. But so we got so we going into the holiday season. So a lot of people are thinking about what to buy their kids for Christmas. I'm getting a lot of phone calls, and so we got a lot of budding game designers out there, and a lot of young people wanting to do those. So they're trying to figure out what kind of gaming computer they should buy for their young people to learn on. That's not necessarily way expensive, but gives them some durability, but also gives them functionality as well. So for me, HP does really good at gaming machines. So they have a basic gaming machine, and then they have the HP Almond series where there's you can do more designing and more play. It's more for play and streaming, but both of them are pretty good, and that's going to run you about. Anybody out there is trying to do something with a machine they're trying to give to their kids. I always say laptop for kids because they move about a lot. Desktop is going to keep them in their room, but this way you can bring them with you wherever you need to go. And so it's going to run you about a cool G, some $800 to $1,000. Well, I say $800 to $1,200, in that range, depending on how much memory and how much power you want it to have. But you can really do that one with those. Alienware is really good. They have some good basic ones. Who else has some good ones? Asus does pretty good as well. So, it's some good options out there. But those are kind of things that run, because I've had my Omens for probably going on 5 years, almost 4 or 5 years. And I just got a call from one of my students, and, he was using it for streaming, and he cracked the screen, and he was like, Coachy, do you have some type of insurance? I was like, don't worry, we covered. But I've had that for going on 4 or 5 years now, and for that machine just now to have something wrong with it, I mean, that's a good quality machine. This is one right here. I got this one right here. Yep, this one is one of my HP Omens right here. So again, it's got a little broke on the side, but hey, it's durable. It does what I needed to do. It has all the speed. So if you're looking into a machine, this is a good one to start off with. It's small, it's compact. I think it's like the 14, 15-inch screen. But you can get up to the 17 and a half inch screen. So those are your big boys. Either one of those works really, really well, but you can do everything you need, streaming, designing, and it's not just for gaming, music production, film production, anything arts, animation. These are good machines for that as well. So that's going to be your gaming advice for today. And as per usual, we're just going to keep it going. From the gaming segment to the art segment, here we go. Hey. GameFi podcast, everything gaming, arts, music, esports, and film. We just got out of the gaming segment, and now we're moving into the arts segment. Here we go. Conjure up all those images of you got the samurais running through the tall grass, getting ready to battle. You're meeting all the different characters. The battle's about to go down, about to do our thing. Welcome. Coach E here, Crane Violent in the art segment of the GameFi podcast. Arts, animation, anime, all those cool things. It never surprises me when I talk to a lot of parents about their students. The first thing they talk about, they say they like gaming and things. And first question, I'm like, well, do they watch anime? Do they watch? They're like, yeah, they'll name the anime. I'm like, well, there are careers that exist in that. I was like, one of the best ways as a parent to be supportive of your young person is to find out what they like. And I don't know any young people right now that don't really like games, animation, music, movies, or just playing video games. They love all of that stuff. But when you talk about arts and anime, I was talking to a school district, and we were talking about, there's not a lot for the elementary schoolers, and they like to focus on literacy when it comes to young people. And, I talk about, and then a lot of these schools are in my community. So they're trying to figure out how to boost literacy rates, how to boost science, grades and numbers in science as well. And I'm like, well, you really got to talk to the students about what they're interested in and really get behind and push what they're interested in. And I as a college and career readiness counselor, I would ask this question: what do you want to be when you grow up? And I would get crickets. Crickets. The little chirping and all that good stuff. But now, when I ask a student, who's your favorite comic book hero, comic book character, who's your favorite in Marvel, I can't get them to be quiet about it. They love it. And then when they leave me and figure out they can actually create their own, then it's like, I can't, at that point, some things have been unlocked for them. The creativity they have in their heads, it's just, you can't stop them. So if you want to work with your young person and have them really creating some things, then, start there, start what they're like. And so comic books, think about when we were growing up. We loved comic books growing up. We loved superhero characters and all that. Now is great because there's so many superheroes and characters and stories being made with characters that look like them. So African-American men and women, characters of color, they're everywhere. Black Sands Entertainment does a very good job at the comics they create. Tuskegee Heirs, they have a comic book that harkens back to Robotech. And so it's real cool to see how they put that together. But it's so many that are out there right now that you can't go wrong. And it's great images and powers that incorporate not just strength and agility, but a lot of mental, a lot of you got to have some the techno cracks. Oh, what did they call it? I forget what they call them, but the power to manipulate technology or to do, like Black Panther. See, I was going to say Tony Stark at the time, but I'm like, let me talk about my characters look like me. But, creating that technology, that next level technology, to do some things that's not really out there right now on the cutting edge. So they can look at all those kind of characters that can do that, and young men, young women that are doing it. And so it lets them know that they can believe in themselves and create and do some things. So they're able to look back at that and take it forward, because it takes more than just an hour of code or, 1 or 2 hours looking at a movie or whatever for a student to go from first, I didn't know what people of color were making these comics, what characters existed, to, okay, I now know and see it, and then I can now create that. Now I am a creator to create those. So it's a natural progression that you want to do along that mindset you want for a young person. So now they become creators. And when you look at Bloom's taxonomy as an educator, and you think about that from just, rote learning and just being able to recall, which is like the base level, to creation and synthesis, which is the top level of the taxonomy. That's what you want students to be able to do, because once they can create on their own, now you're talking about entrepreneurship, where, they may be working for somebody, but they're working other people's companies like this, their own company, and they're on the way to starting their company. So, or they go into college like, this is what I want to start. This is what I want to do. And I can incubate the idea that I have while I'm in college. And then, if I finish, which I need y'all to do, because for people of color, that's a weed out, not having a degree. That sometimes they use that to keep you from being able to go out and do things. But, if you're successful, which you can start now, you may be able to start that company where, you can be like, what, do I really have to stay in school? And so now you're making a different choice. If you're going to college because you have to, that's a different type of motivation. But if you can go to college because I want to, because I know it's bettering myself, it's giving me another opportunity, that's a whole nother mindset. So now you're even more focused while you're in school. And so that's what we want students to always be looking at, trying to do and get into. So that's pretty cool to be able to look at that and see the faces, because we have a lot of students, a lot of young students still in high school coming to the Ronald Floyd Thomas Center for Esports and Innovation at Morris Brown College and figuring out that they can actually major in esports and gaming, being able to do that, and the light that comes on in their eyes for them, even with their parents. First of all, their parents are like, oh my God, let me go grab my son or my daughter. And then their son and daughter just start laughing. They get it and they're like, see, Mom, this is what I was telling you about. And that just, as an educator, that always makes me feel good when my students are starting to tell their parents and they're really they're really interested in what's going on. So that's pretty cool. That's real cool what's happening right now. But if y'all are looking for some opportunities in comic book creation, game design, professional esports, we have that in Level Up Academy in our Camp Level Up series that is opening up our first spring cohort. It's starting in January, on January 15th. And you can go to pcxnow.com, pcxnow, like right now.com, and you can find out more information about that. If you have any interest, any your son or daughter or niece, nephew, grandson, granddaughter, they have some interest, you give them an opportunity, because the sooner they start working towards it, they can figure out exactly what it is about it they like. Now, they may not like character development and writing the stories. They may be artists, so they want to do the drawing. So they can do that, but they can do that for comic books. They can do that for movies. They can do that for animated series. They can do it for a lot of different things. And so being able to be a part of that is what's up with that. So, man, I can't wait till January hits, and then we're going to follow that up with our Minority Serving Institution Esports Classic Conference and Classic. That's going to be in February, as a phrase my boy Dedrin Sneed with Subsume, he coined Black Futures Month. We don't say Black History, we say Black Futures Month. That's what we call it. And we like to highlight, again, all the wonderful things that Black folks are doing, definitely in the past, but we approach it like a Sankofa moment. So we're looking at the past to bring back to the forward as we go forth with the future. So it's always, well, that's what it was, and that's what we're doing now, and that's why we can continue to do it now, because we are building upon what was already done. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be cool coming up, and an opportunity for young people and parents and school administrators to be able to see a lot of that stuff in action, because sometimes we have to see it before we can believe it. I mean, I think that's kind of the motto that a lot of people think. You got to see it before you can achieve it, and believe it for each event. Well, however the saying goes, but them to be able to be immersed into the environment and to hear the bells and whistles, to see the lights of the cameras, to hear the clickety clack of the machines, to really see it and then know that they can do it. And also not just that, they can see the artifacts being produced by students their same age. So, you know, we have elementary schooler that has submitted a game for our DoorDash game design challenge. That's going to be able to take it from there and then work with DoorDash as he continues to build it up. So shouts out to Chase Dillard down in, I say down there, they're actually above us in Tennessee. We're in Atlanta, over there in Nashville. So I can't wait for us to unveil his game and for everybody to see what he's been working on. But I mean, you know, he's 7. So, I mean, just that opportunity for him to be able to do that. And I think I said this in the episode before, you know, he almost made me cry during one of our sessions. He was like, Coach E, you changed my life. He's 7. And I've already changed it. Like, can you imagine what that feels like? A 7-year-old telling you done changed their life? Oh my God. Whew, man. But yeah, I appreciate you, Kim. Oh man. But I really had a lot of fun with them. And so I'm working with some of his friends and some of the other kids in there, the Preppies cohort, and Jack and Jill organization out there in Nashville. So we're going to keep pressing and seeing what they come up with. But I have a few young ladies that are made some submissions at the middle school level and at the high school level. And I have some young men at the high school and the college level that have made some submissions, and a young lady at the college level. So we're going to unveil those at Atlanta Metropolitan State College. Dr. Lewis over there can't wait to have this function. And then Dr. James and Morris Brown is going to host a president's roundtable so that we can actually have the presidents of these colleges and the provosts of these colleges and deans to be able to sit down and figure out how can at places like the minority serving institutions, which include the historically black colleges and universities, the Hispanic serving institutions, the Latinx serving institutions, to really figure out how do we stand up these type of programs, because it's not just about the knowledge and the coursework, but also about the apprenticeship opportunities and the co-ops and internships for these young people to actually get out there and get their hands on and do some hands-on learning, working, and making some money right now. Because a lot of students in our community, you know, they're going to school, they're getting these loans, but, you know, they still are somewhat breadwinners for their family as well. They're making money. They're having to help with the bills at home, all right, with their younger brothers and sisters or just with their families. And so sometimes they have to make those hard decisions. Well, do I go hard in school or do I go half in school and then get me a part-time job so that, you know, the lights can stay on at my mama's house? So, you know, we want to try to help them without making those type of decisions by giving them these opportunities. And if you really want them to be free to create, free to make these innovations, then they have to be freed up. You know, I mean, like we used to say this about church, right? I'm a youth minister, so I've been a youth minister in the Black Baptist church, and I've been a youth minister in the white Christian church, right? And so the difference between the two, you know, you go to the black church, you know, you praising God, and you're there, and it's like, you know, man, if I can just make it and I can, you know, give me some help and let me get to the next one. Just see me through. But when you're at the white church, they come in and they get to worship in free. They get to freely worship. They just worship like, oh, how great it's been and, you know, how things are going. It's a different type of worship. And so we want you to be, as a student, to be free to learn that same way. We don't want you to learn because you feel like you just have to learn to make it out. No. We want you to be free to learn so you can just create and start making some of these innovations that are going to carry us into the future, because everything that our young people are doing right now is what's happening. There's nothing that's not being streamed right now. There's nothing that's not being musically produced right now, enhanced. What I have seen recently, it was an award show where they had a TikTok sensation do his music, and it was a black guy. It was an African-American male. He was doing it, and I was saying, well, at least this time, they took somebody out of TikTok who made whatever it was. Because when they did the what was it? I think it was a dance. It was a dance. They had the girls out there doing the dance, and it was like, no, that was a black girl's TikTok that they copied. you know, or every year we look at the teachers. They changed that too this year when they were doing the back to school and they were showing the black male teacher doing the handshakes and all the stuff. At first they were showing the white teacher, white lady that was doing it, and she got it from him. So it was like, okay, well now we have the ability to at least grab the narrative back and place it where it's supposed to be. So that's what, you know, when we allow our young people to know they can create and they can own their own stuff, then we're able to push it in that direction. So that's going to be all for the art segment on this one. But just the creativity that's out there, you know, we just want to make sure we unlock that gate to mental and creative freedom for our young people. Transitioning on to the next one. It's time for the music segment, y'all. Hey, drop it like this, DJ. Whoa. Man, we should have probably did this one first when we was reminiscing about No Limit and everybody and all the music they was making. But welcome again to the GameFi podcast. It's your man, Coachy, Crane Violet, DJ such and such, the original from Tuskegee University. I don't know what they got from St. Louis talking about. I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna invite him out here. I'm gonna invite him on here, and we're gonna have some laughs about the such and such, because I want to know where he got it from and see if it was a similar thing to how we came on DJ such and such. But I don't know if he got MC Scratch and Sniff though. No, it's DJ Scratch and Sniff, and it's MC such and such. So there's a difference. Yeah, no, I'm saying it was DJ such and such, but our DJ name, it was a collective. I was telling, it was a young Rico from Morehouse College. He DJ'd. He actually DJ'd. He go to Morehouse now. I know Rico. Man, we got Rico Valley. Yeah, man. So we had him in there. He did this. He was DJing for a turkey giveaway. We were doing that at Morris Brown. Man, I'll give them shots out. They from Boston. It's a group, City Trend. I think that's the name of the group, City Trend, not the store. It was almost similar to the store, but it's a group of guys out of Boston. They went to Morehouse and they went to Morris Brown, and so they were giving away turkeys, and he was DJing, and I had my Mama Moore, Zion's mom. We were there to walk through the facility to make sure it had the right size and it was going to be able to meet their needs for the listening party. And then we were like, oh, we got a DJ. And she was looking for a DJ. See, you never know when you might have an opportunity. You never know when you're going to have an opportunity. So he was out there DJing. He was doing his thing. And she was listening. And so, you know, he got paid $100 an hour. And we were there for probably about 4 hours. So he made about a good $500 DJing for this listening party because he showed up to an event where he was giving away turkeys. So he was giving back to the community, and the community ended up giving back to him. See how that works? So you can give people like that a chance. And so I ain't have to, you know, go to the regular DJ channels. Not that you shouldn't, but if you look in your community, you'll find everything you need right there. You don't. A lot of times people think they got to go out. And I tell people, see, I hate to bring it back to church, but I'm gonna bring it back to church. So the preacher, the pastor, always want to do some things, right? But we never look inside the church to look at the abilities of the parishioners at the church. So in those pews, you got somebody that can do pretty much everything that you need to have done. And if they can't directly do it, they can point you in the right direction and make sure that if you're going to spend some money to bring somebody in, that you bringing in the right person to do the job, and they'll do it all the way to take it to the finish line. Because a lot of times they'll come in and they'll halfway do some stuff, and then you'll get upset about it, and you talking about it, and then somebody was like, well, I could have told you that wasn't gonna work. They sitting right there on the pew. You look at them in the face every Sunday, but you never ask them for any of their expertise. Now, time, talent, treasure. I say that's the three things that you should want to bring to church, bring to God. Your time, your talent, your treasure. So if you're gonna bring the money, great. Money is needed. Gotta pay for stuff. You know that. But you know, your time, you spend time, we always there, but your talent. A lot of times we don't capitalize on the talent that's in our community because we don't look around and we're not trying to work with each other. You know, they say crab in a barrel mentality, but sometimes they're not even trying to reach in the barrel. You know, they go into somebody else's barrel or they go into somebody else's crate or something else. They're not even taking the time to realize, first of all, assess what you have. So when we go into a school, no matter if it's in Atlanta, if it's in Miami or whatever organization we're working with, we say first we got to assess. We always want to assess, and that's come my educational background. We got to, first of all, figure out what you got, where you're at. Once we can figure out what you have and where you are, then we can build upon that. So that's why we found Rico. See, and then now you know him. So now that's a whole nother stream because I was telling him about you. And so I'm going to make sure he gets plugged in. But when we were at Tuskegee, we'd have a group of us, and we'd all have the same name. So if you was DJing for the night, you was DJ Scratch and Sniff. All right, and if you was on the microphone, you was MC such and such for the night. So we have a lot of fun and maintain anonymity. But we was doing that kind of Spartacus type of thing. I am Spartacus. If you see history, see y'all. The story of Spartacus was when the Romans were actually looking for him, one of the ways he was able to evade capture was that he would have some of his lieutenants go out and start fights and start, battles and win battles, and would come in saying that I'm Spartacus. So you had, 20, 30 people out there saying that I'm Spartacus, and you wouldn't know who the real Spartacus was. So that kept him out of trouble. And so that's what we were doing. You look on the building, we would actually put this on the flyer. It was like DJ Scratch and Sniff. And this was just an apartment house party. We was sophisticated like that. We had our flyers. And then we was at the farm. We was at the farm too. So we would know we were having a big party. DJ Scratch Sniff on the 1 and 2s, and then you'd have MC such and such hosting the party. And that's who it was. And it was fun, man. We had a lot of fun doing that. So you never know. But I've met a lot of people in the music industry. Ruben Wood, Some Entertainment, he's a producer I just met not too long ago. Got a chance, my first time going to, I think I might have said this on the episode before, going to the Trap Music Museum. So, just getting a chance to see what they're doing, and they're interested in having some gaming tournaments and doing some stuff down there. But again, it's music. But then with what we were doing at Morris Brown, this was a listening party to show the innovation side of the center, that music is going to be done there. Music is going to be produced. And so, we had some interest from, folks, Sleepy Brown and Dudgeon family, hearing about it. And so, just having those there, because he has ties to Morris Brown, to know that in the community we have somewhere where they can come back and give back to the community, and we can take it to the next level. So doing that, and again, you never know who could be tied to the community, the AU Center. So that's going to be a breeding ground for the next generation of digital entertainment professionals. I don't just say gaming professionals anymore. I don't just say comic book professionals or animation professionals. I say digital entertainment, because it's all tied together. So it was cool to have that event. And then he's dropping his album on the 12th. So we're going to do that. Oh yeah, and this is the other thing. People watch, when you put out a flyer or a save the date, and you say, yeah, I'm about to drop my album, or I'm about to, do a presentation or show my film or whatever. And a lot of people are like, oh man, that's good. It's awesome. See you grinding. And of course, they're like, come and see me. And it's like $12 a ticket. Now I saw 50, 60 people like, yeah, that's cool. Great. Keep going. I can't believe you. God is blessing. But nobody said anything about how they were buying the tickets. So you know what I did? As soon as I got it, I bought 6 tickets right off the jump. I was like, boom, I'm gonna buy 6 tickets. And you know what? Instead of saying congratulations in the messages in the comments, I said, just got my 6 tickets. Who else with me? Who got their 6 tickets? Who else coming to see? Because I wanted to push the next person to buy, to pay into it. Because if we don't invest in ourselves, who else gonna do it? We're always looking for, the Black community is non-existent when it comes to the family, friends, seed round funding. And when you talk about entrepreneurship and that first level of investment, that in the what is it, the lean startup method, they tell you to start with your family and friends, and that doesn't quite work for the Black community like that. We ain't got family and friends that got money they can just give us. So, but what we do, but actually we do, we can do the Barack Obama method of how he broke giving trends by just, hey, if it's 100 people in my church, everybody give me $10. Give me $10. That's $1,000. $1,000 goes a long way, especially when you already, scraping up nickels and dimes to be able to do so. We make it stretch. We know how to go to Pick and Spin and get us a scarf and a purse with some mad money to spare. We good with that. We know how to do that in our community. So but it's the Walmart mentality that I want more people to have. It's like, listen, we're working on volume. The more people that you can get, if you got everybody got at least 50 people in their circle. Usually, most people, if you've been working at what you're working at for a while, you got at least 50 people in your circle that ought to be able to give you $10, that can give you $10. They may be able to give you $100. But I don't know. Sometimes we are in this wait and see kind of mentality in our community. It's like, well, I want to see what it looks like first. When you talk about the other communities, they can put it on the napkin, and they get $5 million with it written on the napkin. So that's again that mind. I'm gonna get off that soapbox after a while, but I'm gonna keep saying it. I ain't gonna get off. I'm gonna keep saying it. But that's what we want to do, and that's why. We do what we do at GameFi podcast and with Pharaoh's Conclave and with all our partners. We want to make sure that we are capitalizing on our community and helping them reach the next level. So we are going to do startups for people with lives. I'm putting it out there so I can hold myself to this. Gravity, I just finished up. I haven't finished. We have a few more sessions. I think next week is our last session. It's kind of an incubator that's been done. It's called Gravity. I don't know who it's in conjunction with, but they did, it's people of color, founders and entrepreneurs of color come together, and we were able to learn about, just how to seek funding and how to talk about our businesses in a way to make it more attractive to funders and opportunities. But it wasn't just about finding investment. They were like, listen, what do we need to do to make you feel whole, to teach you about what you need to learn and put you in front of the people. Who do you want to be in front of to talk? So we did I wouldn't even call it a pitch. We actually had a sit down talk with folks for me, it was somebody, an educator, and it was also someone who was doing a SaaS type of education technology. And be able to get feedback from them about what we're doing. But then they were both founders in this. So there was a classroom teacher, elementary classroom teacher, and it was a young man who is doing film and music production, but he does it from Chicago. He's in Chicago, but he goes back and forth to South Africa, and he's doing it out there as well. So I was like, listen, man, we can do this. We can Wonder Twins unite and make it happen. And then I was telling it was Miss Carter. I was like, listen, we can make it happen. You want literacy, you want to work with your kindergarten, first and second graders. We can get them started with that. But I started teaching game design to my kindergartner. When my son was 5, when he was 6, and my daughter was 5. That's when they first created their first app. So, and he's an artist, and so from there he started doing his own comic books. He started to do his own just creations, and he's always creating something. But his creativity was unlocked at a very early age. So the earlier you can unlock that creativity, it is what it is. But from a music standpoint, same thing. A lot of the things that he was doing was very similar to a program we had a while back where we had them create digital albums. And so we were using computing as a tool. So computing as a tool to create music, computing as a tool to create art, computing as a tool to create film, and computing as a tool to create a game. And so all of those, so they had to create a digital album that spoke to that. They chose the theme of poverty. They wanted to talk about poverty. So I took them over to Glenwood so they could really get a chance to see, for real, what some of that poverty looks like. And learn how, you think about homelessness and stuff like that, but a step up above that, which is still to me is kind of homelessness, but you got a lot of people living in these day motels. Right? And they spending, I did the math. They spending like $2,000 a month staying in these day motels. Right. And I'm like, my mortgage is $600 for a 5-bedroom. Now, of course, there's some other layers that you got to think about when you're looking at that, because, there is them being able to have a job that allows them to have a livable wage and then steady enough income to be able to, pay a mortgage. But then after that, they got to have credit, and then they got to have a bank account. They got to have all that to be able to get a loan for the house. So there's a whole bunch of, so there's a lot of barriers that keep them from even being able to explore that. But they make enough, or they're able to acquire enough money. I'm not even gonna say make enough money, because it's, family pitching in, it's all kind of stuff they doing to be able to scrape together that money that they got to pay weekly, for these motels. And sometimes they really do have to pay per day. And so to be able to do that, there's a lot of ingenuity that takes place with that. So, but for them to be able to see that, to see what that looks like, and they created a whole digital album. They created the artwork. They created a film documentary. They created a game, and they created music that spoke to poverty. And they created it, and their parents were blown away. But that's what I was doing like 5 years ago. No, that was probably 7 years ago that we did that. And to hear him doing the same thing for here and in Africa, and I was like, we got to link up. But again, people in your community. So Gravity was a place that we were able to come together. Shouts out to Morgan, who was our leader over there, to be able to come together and figure out that, we were in a space where we didn't feel like we had to compete with our ideas. Everybody came in that space, well, how can we work together? So you weren't afraid to talk about your ideas, what was coming up next, and somebody was going to steal your stuff. Because in a lot of these incubators, sometimes you'd be afraid to really talk about in an open forum what you're doing, because people take your stuff. They really do. And then, they exploit you. So it's very extractive, as my wife would say, extractive process. They hear about what you're working on, and then they go do it because they got the capital and stuff to be able to do that stuff. But yeah, so I think we're gonna dust that back off and create a digital album. I think we'll put that out as a cohort opportunity. Oh, you talking about NFT? Yeah. So NFTs we weren't even talking about those. And so that was interesting, because he did start talking about NFTs a little bit. And so my last guest on the last episode was talking about NFTs. I was talking with somebody, it was Mr. Keys out of DeKalb County, their student advancement. He was talking about NFTs. And so now NFTs is being very, very pushed out. And I've been looking on my feed, and there's a lot of NFTs been coming out. It is like, yeah, but listen, it's some doggone back of the napkin stuff that got put out there, and somebody figured out that they could create this digital art that they could start to put numbers on and say, you got this art piece, and then I can charge you a little bit of money, and people have been willing to put money behind it.
But how are they making their money back?
Oh no, it's like selling a piece of art. You create, it don't cost, first of all, to create a piece of digital art don't cost nothing. But if you got,
People are buying NFTs of meme NFTs.
so the people, so they're paying, so it's a piece of merchandise that doesn't even have to be printed. It's digital. So once you create it, that's the let's say it costs you $50 to create that digital piece. You know what? I'll take it by that. A digital flyer. An NFT at the end of the day is basically a digital flyer. Without having like the party information on it. That artwork that you see on a digital flyer, that's basically the same artwork that NFTs usually have. Like a template, yeah. And so now some of them get a little bit more slick than others. They'll change colors. They'll have a little bit of 3D effect to it. They'll have a small bit of animation to it, right? They'll do something like that. Those are some of your higher end ones, but that's all it is, and they sell it. And it's a collector's item because they only make it available to certain people. They only make it available for a certain amount of time, and they'll do it with a like a celebrity in mind. So they'll have a celebrity whose face is a part of it or somehow, or they will co-sign on it as artwork, and they'll just sell it. But again, it's somebody figured out that they could make money that way. And I'm trying to figure I think the piece I'm still trying to figure out is what's making it rare.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Especially with pictures. Like you can go to Google. I don't think people really care about having an original picture. They just need this picture. They gonna go to Google and get whatever picture is there.
Right, but it's the creators know that, but the people who buying it, they don't know that. They just want the final. They want the baby. They don't care how the baby got made. They just want the baby. So when the baby come out looking like something they want,
The difference is like if I'm buying a Mona Lisa
yeah,
and they say it's only 3 of these, I physically have the 3.
right.
But somebody can say it's an NFT. Oh, they can tell me like, oh, this is the 3rd one.
Yeah.
Only 3 of these. But it's like I can duplicate this.
Right, but I want to say that you can there is some way, and I think I'm with you on that. There is some way that they're able to show a stamp on it, or maybe they put numbers embedded in them. Something's embedded in them.
I get that, but why did
Listen,
only on your phone? It's not 10.
listen,
You can't touch this.
listen.
Anybody can say, I can tell you right now, oh, nah, you know.
Which is why we need to figure out how to make this, because somebody getting some money. Now, that's the other piece. I was talking with a friend of mine, Charles Moody with the Emerging 100, and we were talking about esports and all the money they were talking about that was flushed around. Same thing with this. Same thing with Bitcoin, really, to be honest. It's really just this digital thing that's out there that people are backing with actual money.
Well, I guess it's still the thing about Bitcoin is that I've seen people actually get money from it.
Right.
I mean, I guess
It's the same with NFT. I seen people actually get money for the NFTs. So, and I mean, it's a currency, so you can go, yeah.
the stock market the same way.
Yeah.
You never physically touch the stock market.
And I told people that I was saying, man, you must be in my head. You got me bugged. I swear we was talking about that. Cause the stock market, you betting on the future of stuff. You're not even actually betting on the actual thing. You're betting on what it's gonna look like in the future.
So if you pay for a meme and they have it on like Good Morning America or something, you call them up and be like, I own that, and you didn't pay to.
Now I want to know. Now I think that's what it is. So it's that original thing.
They got a thing like that. I was first introduced to NFT. My boy sent me something called NBA Top Shot.
Right. I was NFL. This is the first time I heard about
Yeah,
it.
you basically get the highlight. So whatever highlight, if LeBron James go for a dunk, I can go buy this highlight. And if they play it on ESPN,
You get paid for
I
it.
get royalties.
So that's how they. See.
I mean, you have to really be on top of it. If you don't
It seems like you really gotta follow that. I gotta be watching ESPN.
But who making it so that you can follow the person to be able to get it?
I guess whoever it has the original person once you buy it from, I guess they give you all that information.
But to what you said earlier, I can just go find that highlight and what they gonna say? Who gonna come get me and say, nah, I created the NFT and did it? Dude, it's a piece of free digital content. To be honest,
Once it's out there,
it's out there, right?
especially when like I said, if it was tangible, something I can touch, like you can't really touch this. So I don't understand how they regulate it.
Now, I do know that there's technologies out there now that will not allow you to. What was that last thing I was looking at? It was something that I was trying to do, or somebody was trying to do, and it was blocked immediately. I don't know if it was something on YouTube, if it was something on Instagram or something. It was like blocked immediately, and you couldn't see it. They went, it's the same technology. I know what it is. It's the same technology like with oh God. What were we watching? We were watching something. Oh my goodness. It's the same.
The apocalypse out there.
It's the apocalypse.
You can't go out anywhere. It's trapped. There's too much trapped.
Hey y'all, Chemical just came in and said it's the apocalypse outside, man. So if y'all been waiting on the apocalypse, it has here. The zombies are about to get us, and they ain't gonna let us do what we need to do. Oh, you brought food? Okay. Hey, we for the snack. Hey, I don't know. We might have a snack while y'all look at me on these last couple segments. But we're gonna keep rolling with this NFT. We're gonna transition this on to the esports segment. Okay, come on with it. Sponsored by Atlanta Gamer Life. Snacks for days. Oh man, this gonna be like the most. I ain't giving Sprite no shout out. Yeah. Woo. Come on, have some. Oh man. Hey Kim, come get your chicken wing. Come on, get in here. Esports segment. of the GameFi podcast, where we talk everything game and arts, music, esports, film. Right now, we're gonna get into this esports a little bit. We just got a little snackadoodle, sponsored by Atlanta Gamer Life. Chemical in the house, making it do what it do. Yeah, hey, it's cupping season. It's cupping season, man. You gotta lay up somebody a little extra on you to keep you warm. Hey, y'all, Harlem. Have you been watching Harlem? It's a TV show called Harlem with Megan Good.
Wait, they got new episodes?
Well, I don't know. See, I've been, so I just caught up. The last, yeah, I was telling you, it's like I said, it's a black. It's better than Sex and the City to me. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you need to check it out. It's called Harlem. It was on Hulu. Was it on Hulu? Amazon Prime. Yeah, Prime Video. Yeah, Prime Video. Harlem. Awesome. Megan Good and some other actresses. And matter of fact, the one that with the tech company, she was in. We saw a picture of her on my feed. She was doing something and everything. Come on in here. Come on. Let me turn you up.
The apocalypse. You can't get out anywhere.
It is what it is.
Everyone is like, we got like the whole street where you are is blocked off. That front part's blocked off.
That's how they do it. They want to make sure traffic is going in a specific direction and everything while I'm eating on my French fries. Thank you so very much.
Let's talk about Atlanta culture and esports. In almost every place in Atlanta, you gotta have what?
You gotta have food.
Wings.
Oh, well, I'll just say food in general.
Exactly. Atlanta is known for, no matter where you go, about the same amount of churches, about the same amount of churches, about the same amount of liquor stores, about the same amount of places
wing joints.
that sells
Listen,
wings.
But see, the wing joint. What does your wing joint have? And does it just sell wings, or do they sell shrimp fried rice? Do they sell Philly cheesesteaks? Do they also?
I don't even know what a Philly cheesesteak is.
Let me tell you something. Philly.
Gas stations gotta be by the gas
Connect
station.
to the gas station, man. I'm because we got this little ATL wing spot right down the street from my mama house down there off Glenwood. It's at the corner of Glenwood and County Road, right there. It's an awesome spot, little spot up in there, and I love it. Go in there, get my wings, get my shrimp fried rice. I get my Philly and fries. Steak all the way, and make it do what it do, man.
You know it's a good chicken spot. They got
Bulletproof windows in a chicken spot.
Hey, I'm good everywhere I go in the hood, so I don't be looking for bulletproof. I don't care. I don't be looking on my shoulder no more. No, I'm just kidding.
So we're talking about esports because we're in the esports section.
Yeah.
Now let's think about things. What places would be, like right now, venues that are open in Atlanta or surrounding areas that you think would be good for an esports event?
Trap Museum. I was talking to the manager. They want to do some stuff over there. So the Trap Museum is one. Who? Gathering spot would be good.
They do have some nice.
I'm a member there. I need y'all to come down on y'all prices. Come on, Ryan. Who? Joystick. Yeah, Joystick is a good one. Now, do they have enough room inside of Joystick? Because last time when Joystick, it's pretty. It was close quarters.
It was smaller. It's like half the size of this place.
It was close quarters, and it's got like pinball machines and arcade machines.
A pinball tournament, like a smaller tournament, would be perfect for that area.
Hey,
Yeah.
go back. Hey, do some retro gaming. You know what? We can get some retro gaming tournaments. Do a pinball tournament. I like that. We can do that. We can do that. So you got that. What else is good? I mean, Greg Lachey is pretty much him and Walter. So you got Gamer Experience and Latonya. You got the letter O for esports out there in what's that? That would be considered Gwinnett, right?
Nah, that's Doraville.
Oh, Doraville. Okay, and so you have his spot.
I think that Atlantucky place brewing is
Atlantucky Brewing. We supposed to get what?
spot.
Hey, listen, this is we about to end December.
Oh, they might have controllers in there. Oh, across from Ponce. What do you mean? What you talking about?
It's before you get to the old Masquerade. It was a buzz spot right across from Ponce. I think that's
It was called Deep End, but it's no more.
Maybe they just let them go in there and do what
Now,
they need
Best
to do.
End Brewery, I ain't gonna lie, that's a nice little space too, because they have like a lot of open space areas.
So that's
A
good
lot
for
of
the older
breweries.
folks. Now, see, the thing, you see, I'm always be a youth advocate. Now, breweries is good for, us grown people, and we can go have us some fun.
True.
But, there's not a whole lot of esports places for, young folks to really congregate and to play. Now, I'm not talking about like the round ones and, the Chuck E. Cheese type, Dave and Buster type things. I'm not talking about that. We talking about like little, not mom and pop stores, but smaller, intimate locations, kind of like a Battle and Brew, but at a certain time, young people can't go in the Battle and Brew either.
Correct.
Right. So we always got to think about them and being able to go. But I think there's an opportunity now. You know what? There is a place called Loud and Wild. Shouts out to my cousin Rhonda Phillips, or Rhonda. Her last name is not Phillips. She is married. I want to say is it Thomas?
Now, where is this located? I never heard of this.
So she has a CBD smoke shop. She is located by Brandsmart.
Okay.
So it is Stockbridge. She's in Stockbridge, and she has an awesome space, and we're gonna put us a tournament over there. And it's a good open space. It's actually the inside of it is open. It's about as big as how Versus Realm was. It's about as big as Versus Realm. It might be a little smaller than Versus Realm, but it's open. It's open like Versus Realm was. So, I told her we're going to bring in a couple more TVs and we'll be able to do our thing there. And she had an event where she had some edibles and some. And
you said this was kid friendly?
Well, it can be. I'm thinking about. You're thinking about the space. We do. I'm thinking about the sports. Yes, yeah, and it's K through 12. We do K through 12 and college and adult. So we service the gamut. So we got to have a place for the young and the old. Got to have somewhere for everybody to go to. So the breweries, what is it?
Atlantucky.
It's just Atlantucky.
Yeah, it's
Atlantucky.
created by the some of the members of Nappy Roots.
Nappy Roots, man, I still haven't gone. I still have not gone there.
Whose fault is that?
I know. I apologize, Atlantucky. I apologize. We will be doing a remote at Atlantucky, top of the year. So be on the lookout. Matter of fact, I need to talk with them because how many people know about them?
A lot of people know about them, but it's still like every Wednesday they still have their nappy hour, which is like a happy hour in which from 6 to 9, it's sort of like a meet and greet, and they have usually a vendor for food, a DJ. It's a really nice vibe. And on Tuesdays now, Terry Skywalker's doing something over there, so I got to figure out exactly what it's called. But
okay. And see, I'm asking questions like how big is I got to go over there and see.
You got to go there. It's nice. It's really nice. It's a vibe. I love the artwork that's on the walls. I love the music. They insert different speakers, so you have this nice, speaker. Like there's sound within the whole restaurant or brewery. But in addition to like places like that, let's talk about larger. Oh, what was that? Okay. I was
hey, we still downtown. Man,
downtown, you hear that? Hey. Hong Kong? I was like, whoa, what did you
so crazy. Nah, not yet. I ain't that good yet. But yeah, big spots like big arenas. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, what kind of big arenas did you
do? Now let me ask you this question. Now, I've done the Dream Hacks. I've done the Momo Cons. I've done
that's all at the
Smite.
Georgia World Congress
Right. I've done
Center.
the Smite World Championships over there at the Galleria. I've done those different things. Like, can we listen? Movie theaters would be a great spot because when we first started doing our tournaments, we started at what's it called? Not Fork and Screen, but oh my God, the one where you can go and eat. The movie theaters you can go eat.
Yeah, that's something like that.
Is it? What is it called?
AMC Fork and Dine or the bar?
It's another name. It's
the grill. The one that's the grill one.
and my wife is probably gonna kick me for not really remembering
the
that.
name. Next to you.
But it's not. It's oh my God, it's not the one. Well, there is one at North Lake, and there used to be one, or if it still is, right over there by Lennox. there's a fork and screen or dining. Oh my gosh!
But we know it's one of those
anywho,
dining experiences.
You can do that. You certainly South DeKalb Mall used to have one, but I think they've since closed down. But which is unfortunate. But movie theaters are a good place for that because they have the open atrium kind of areas where you can do what you need to do, and then also you can play video games on the movie screen. That's what was cool.
Yeah,
to actually see it on the movie screen.
See, when I used to work at the movie theaters, this is when things were like still film. So you had to actually go and lock in and thread and stuff. It's not like that anymore. You can
It's digital.
Totally digital.
It's digital.
So that'd be an easier concept because I've seen it on TV where they
Matter of fact, the first one we did it at was that one, and I'm gonna remember the name. It's gonna hit me in a minute, but anyway, I'm gonna get past it. First one we did was there. The second one we did on the screen was actually off of Monroe. Over there, they had that little theater over there by Grady Stadium across from it.
Oh, yeah.
I forget the name of it, but they do a lot of independent films out of there. They did it. We did it over there. And so,
once again,
you can do it.
Another movie theater.
That's what you can do. And then there's plenty of them everywhere. They got enough space. They got the facility for it. So we can start kicking those back up. Especially now, not a lot of people are going back to the movies yet.
You know what's crazy though? You can, especially like one small is the one in Midtown that has only like 5 theaters. And so you can actually simultaneously do like 3 or 4 tournaments.
Oh yeah.
While the other tournament would be more like a commentating tournament, commentating room, and actually just run like a full tournament without having to risk the whole day.
Something tavern. What is it? Movie tavern. Movie tavern. That's what they called it. Movie taverns. See, I knew it was gonna come. Thank you. Appreciate you. You said something that kicked it back in my head. But the movie tavern, that's what we did. So you got the movie theaters, we said. You got, there are some, there are some smoke shops, but some restaurants are good size places for it as well. We got the breweries. What's some other good spots? we can do it. We can do it at the library.
You could.
You really could do it at the library. You could do some tournaments at the library.
The Auburn Research Library has a theater. Which one? Oh, yeah.
See?
That'd be another one.
Yep.
Hey, we could do a small one here.
And laugh about that. Now, we've been talking about that. So I just told him I got my NBA 2K chops up. So, we can go ahead and get us a 2K.
Like a
2K
tournament,
like a little
private
one. A little Madden tournament. We can get it going.
Yeah.
We can get it going. And so, we got our Youth Esports League about to start up in the spring. So we got that. What I was going to say was, like, at the conference in February, like, if we can find some of those places like that and have them come and then talk about it and, promote their places and then just put them on the calendar and say, hey, because that's what we did when we first started Youth Esports League. We were going around to different venues. And so that's one of the things we would do. If we can put that back out there and get that back going for the 2-2.
You ain't say nothing but a word.
We do
Kimiko be on it.
Yeah, get it for the 2-2.
You say, Kimiko, do this. I'll be like, all right. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, esports back for the 2-2. See, it used to be for the 9-5, the 9-3. Now we in the 20s. The 2-2. Oh, man. And we at the end of the year, y'all. Can y'all believe that, though, for real? Man, we did. Man, I got cousins that are going into their junior and senior year of college. And it's like, y'all been in school that long, but we lost 2 years. It just went by, and they were in school during the pandemic. It's crazy. Some of them graduated in the pandemic from high school, went to college for 2 years in the pandemic, and now they juniors ready to graduate about 1 more year or so. It's crazy. I mean, like you said, it's crazy.
Time is flying.
The Pandeezy, the Pandorama.
They've been like shutting down a lot of countries again.
Oh yeah,
like the new
yeah.
Omicron.
Unfortunately, South Africa has been one of the places that have been on the no-fly zone that was put there. But
Japan is now on it.
See, you got Japan now. So I know my wife was talking about it earlier, but you got the Omicron variant. You got the Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon,
I said Omnicron.
You said Omnicron. You know what? A lot of people were. Who was that? I was listening to like CNN or maybe it was on the radio, and there was a lot of people talking about. But a lot of people couldn't say Omicron. I mean, it was like they were murdering. It was like J. Anthony Brown murdered his hits. They was murdering that word. Omnicron, Omnicron, Omnicron. I was like, Omicron.
So is Omicron?
Wait. Let's.
Are they alphabetical? So Delta was the last one, and that's what everybody's getting.
Well, you know what? It's Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Psi, Omicron. That's far down that list.
All the other ones weren't as bad.
They hit one though, because they said
Okay, it's Omicron or Omicron. I don't know.
Alpha, Kappa.
there was one that they said they skipped because it was confusion or some shit.
Oh, I don't know. It Beta. 'Cause I never heard them say anything about Beta variant.
It's Omicron.
Omicron. Yeah. But that's the thing. So I was like, how y'all get all the way down that far in the Greek alphabet?
Because the other variants.
They weren't that bad. They went ahead and gave them the name. They almost did it like hurricanes. Cause they started doing hurricanes with the Greek letters for a minute.
Well, no, they ran out of normal ones, and then they started with the. That's
Right.
with the hurricanes. If they run out of the names, then they start with the Greek letter.
Wow. That's crazy. So there were other variants, but those variants didn't do anything, and they went ahead and assigned them their names. I guess you got to designate it either way it goes because you got to start research.
All
So
the way down to Omicron, and that one is bad.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Speaking of which, I'm sorry. Speaking of which, how do you think that's going to affect the future esports? Because I know they canceled DreamHack. DreamHack is now merged into ESL. So, do you think that's going to affect the esports in United States?
no. Well, it's like regular education. They had plenty of time to, and this coming from a teacher, y'all. They got plenty of time. They had plenty of time to make everything digital. We already live digital.
Yeah.
And so if we stop playing games like we know for a fact that we're going to go back face to face and just make the digital experiences what they supposed to be, and they don't have to be, and you can do more of those digital experiences because they can do it from home. So you can string them together. You don't have to have one big old conference. You can have a series of it, and then, and make it fun, make it as entertaining as possible. But I'm not going to say nobody, that's not true. Because I know we are, because that's how we did our season digitally, and we did our conference digitally. And so I'm almost this close to this last little piece that I can't tell nobody about. I can't tell nobody. Once I get this last little piece, we're going to be killing the game because nobody has really figured this out. And I think, excuse me, Sprite.
That was my bad.
I think I figured it out. I think I found the person. It's not that I figured it out. Somebody else has, excuse me. There is somebody who has created something for everything you need in the world. We were talking about this earlier. If we look to our community, we can find what we need. And this is somebody that's been in my backyard. Well, I'm about to get with this piece of technology that I needed. So
Hey, Fido.
next week, y'all might have an awesome breaking news next week about what we're gonna be doing. And with everything shutting back down, then we're gonna be right there for everybody to use, for everybody that wants a piece of it. We got it. We're gonna be able to do it. So I've been learning. I've been behind the scenes watching how things work. Think we might be able to do a little something with it. And then we'll be able to actually link up everything. Because if we do everything digitally correctly, when we start to open back up, we can open back up responsibly. People not being responsible. They still, doing what they want to do, how they want to do it, as if there's not a pandemonium going on. So, we just got to figure out how to, do it right. And then, a lot of organizations. So I'm an Omega. My mom's AKA, and I have aunts that are Deltas. I have cousins that are Kappas. One of my best friends, she's a Zeta. A lot of my homeboys, Sigma. So Divine Nine all the way. I don't know if I know too many Iotas. That's the interesting thing. But I know some Sigma Gamma Rhos. My godmother is a Sigma Gamma Rho. But everybody talks about how they've had an uptick in the membership of their organizations. People have been coming to meetings more often. People have been participating at a deeper level because things have been virtual. So they've been coming, the Zooms meetings, other meetings, they've been able to do that. And I live in Atlanta. My home chapter is in Arizona. So I've been able to go to my chapter meetings back in Arizona and back in Phoenix. And everybody's been able to do that. And then people have been able to go to our conventions, our international conventions that are happening, and they've been attending them via Zoom. But they're actually trying to force people to go back face to face, which is the worst idea. Again, not being responsible with opening back up. You can do both, which is why all of Pharaoh's Conclave, all the PCX events going forward are going to be hybrid events. That's why when we did our learning platform, we went from face to face to 100% virtual to blended and hybrid, because
absolutely
we can get more people to attend. We can get more people to be involved.
Exposure,
and so that's like a big exposure. That's a double-edged word that because I work with a lot of the school systems, and I work with a lot of the big companies that want to do things to expose as many people as they can to technology. But exposure is not enough. Exposure is like, what exposure is? It's like a red herring. Exposure is like the tobacco industry paying for its own anti-tobacco marketing. They pay for the don't smoke. They pay for that. Does that stop people from smoking? They still making the same amount of money. They have to. Right, but they figured out they used to be against that. They used to fight it tooth and nail. But then when they did it and they saw that it didn't do anything, and they could actually charge more for their cigarettes, you know what? They just figured out, okay, let me stop fighting against the wave and go with the current. The same thing needs to happen with things that are digital. Go with the current and then come out when you need to. You ain't got to fight against it. You ain't got to force people to go back to face-to-face stuff. You don't have to force it. It'll come back when needs to. Now, unfortunately, on the other side of that, if you have a brick and mortar company that depends on people being there face-to-face, then that could hurt you. Like if you're a big facility like a movies, not a lot of people. I don't know. I'm not saying that. I haven't been to the movies recently. Nah, I don't know. Chemical might be at the movies every other day.
Yeah, I wish.
I don't know.
I love movies, but
I do too.
They've emerged with smaller movie theaters too. iPic, is one, and I found out it's almost like a fork and dime. Then you also have the options for other bigger theaters. You can actually rent out the whole theater.
Yeah, you know what?
That.
That's
I really like that.
I found that out. We found that was an option for real. Probably when Black Panther came out, we did our Black Panther screening, and we rented the theater out, and that's how we were able to do it. We rented the doggone theater out, and we was able to do it. So let's transition this thing, since we're talking about theaters. Going to transition this thing right into the film segment, y'all. Yeah. GameFi podcast. Gaming, arts, music, esports, film. Hey. GameFi podcast. What's up, everybody? It's your boy. It's the man himself, Coach E, aka Crane Violet. What was your Wu-Tang name? You looked it up. How you forget your Wu-Tang name? I just remember Ken Joyce because she was Big Cat.
I'm just Kimiko.
Oh, man.
I'm Kimiko.
You know what? Pull it up right now. I'm finna get you one right now.
You gonna give me a new one?
Yeah, why not? You don't remember? Oh, somebody is cranking it up out there. I guess they hear our music, so they matching us out there, y'all.
Oh, snap.
They get it. They got us rumbling. You hear the vibration? Drop that bass. Hey, but welcome to the film segment of the GameFi podcast. As we were transitioning, we were talking about theaters. We were talking about other venues where we could host esports events and whatnot. I mean, they killing it out there, y'all. That's what I love. Hey, see, when you're in the A,
downtown Atlanta,
when you're in the A, y'all, you don't know what's going to happen.
for the win.
Somebody killing it. But I love it though. I'm finna go out there and see. This is our last segment. We're gonna wrap this thing up so we talk about it. But we get into the movies one more again. A lot of good TV shows out. And I talk about film. I'm talking about film and television production. Binging is a huge thing because everything's going streaming. Harlem, I'm giving Harlem a big shout out. I did not find out who wrote Harlem, but
it's a good series.
Man, that series,
it is so good. I
my
don't know
mama
if
like
there's
that
anything
series.
new. Like you'll be hooked on it. Like if you need something binge worthy, okay, binge worthy series for this upcoming,
My cousin has been
season.
trying to get my cousin. Unfortunately, he is assistant athletic director of UGA, and they just got kicked in the ding ding yesterday in the national championship. But he was singing the praises of Clickbait. Have you seen Clickbait?
No, I haven't.
He said Clickbait is a good one. He said it's a good one. That's a new one that's out. We said Harlem Clickbait. That was good.
Okay, if you have Apple TV, there is a series called C. S-E-E, like C.
Okay.
And it starts off in a post-apocalyptic world where they
Can they blind?
they're all blind.
Okay, yeah, I heard about that one. That's
Okay, we're not going to talk too much about it
Oh.
because you have to watch it.
Okay,
But
C.
So series
S-E-E.
so season 1 was completed, and
Okay.
recently, back in I think August-ish, they released season 2. So now you can pretty much see the whole sea.
see the whole C, pun intended. Let's see. Let's see. What are some good binge worthy stuff? But I mean, I've kind of been going back, so I've been watching. I got to go see my last season of American Gods. I haven't finished that one. That was kind
Where's
of
that
weird.
at?
American Gods. It's on. We got a Fire Stick. So, we get to see a whole bunch of stuff, and I forget what the main channel is. But if you look it up, American Guys, that's a good one. It's got the guy in it that was in 100. He was the boyfriend that was a grounder, but spoke. But Lincoln. His name was Lincoln in 100. Got killed off maybe season 2 or whatever. but that's a bingeable thing. 100. You can go back and see that. I want to say they came out with another season that I haven't seen yet.
For Netflix, if you want to feel good, because all this, too much violence, too much everything. If you want some kind of feel good thing, you definitely got to check out Midnight Diner. I am such a fan of that. Let you know though, it's subtitled, so you have to kind of have a little bit of attention to read what they're saying. But
It's all good.
It reminds me of one thing I like about a lot of anime stories is that they talk about their inner thoughts, and so it starts off in that way, except it's all live action. You're in a diner where this man has one thing on the menu, but if he has the ingredients, he'll make it. So people come in and it's like, hey, can you make this? Can you make that? And he's like, yeah, I can make it. And as the episodes come together, the different personalities are added on.
Okay. I like that.
Now, what's one for you?
What else? I mean, this is since we're in the Christmas time, and there is on. I forget the name. So I watch all of the. First of all, we watch everything like Christmas movie-ish. So, of course, we're going to look at the Hallmark channels. BET got a lot of cool stuff on as well. But there's a lot of good ones on it. Now, I'm going to tell you, so it's cool to see from year to year how the Christmas movies are evolving because there are more people of color in a lot of these Christmas movies. But there is a theme, though. And I don't know if it's just the channel that I'm watching, but there's a lot of interracial couples. So it's it's either they going hard with that, and then they got the biracial angels, the babies. I like to call them biracial angels. They are part of it, but it's a lot of family stuff. But it's interesting to see how film imitates life, literally. Yeah. I know you're finna go with it. I was actually. Listen. No.
Because I can't hear it.
He was saying, okay.
Ask it again.
He was saying black women Black
You
men
see
with
more-
women, black men with white women, or white women with black men. He
Duh, what is that supposed to
so
mean?
Kim,
Talk-
what would you think?
Yes,
you see
Miss
more?
Kimmy
You would see
Coco,
more of
tell
what?
us.
White.
It's more black men with white
No, in real life, but on TV, they portray the black woman with the white man.
More so than they do it the other way around. It is, and that is, it's a little. They're not ready to see that as much as because that will put the black men. Nobody wants to see the black man being necessarily the head. So to see a black man with a white woman, that was against the law in slavery, and it's still against the law in people's minds even now, to be honest.
slavery. It was until the 50s or 60s that they had.
Oh, until they legalized it, correct.
Right.
Correct. So I'm saying it's not that long ago that it hasn't been legal. So to put it on television is a leap. So on television, you'll see more of the white man with the black woman than you will see. But I've been counting the Christmas movies that have interracial couples, and it's about 50% now. One way to the other way. Now, the other part of it is, and this is the other little, and I'm gonna call it a sneaky link. The way they slide it in is one of the people in the couple, either the man or the woman, or the man or the man, and there's been same-sex couples as well, interracial same-sex couples too. But one of the ways they do it is you'll have a biracial person. So it won't just be an African-American man with a white woman. It's a biracial woman with a white man, or a biracial woman with a black man, or a biracial man with a white or black woman. They'll go, or man, woman. It'll do it that way. So they'll do the biracial instead of just the one ethnicity. So they'll sneak it in that way. And so I'm looking at y'all TV folks, seeing if y'all trying to be slick out there. And, but like I said, fast forward 10 years ago, 20 years ago, certainly 30, 40 years ago, you weren't saying none of that, so.
You see the commercials too, like you never
Oh, yeah.
see the black woman with the white man in commercials, like mainstream media. That's what they pushing.
Well, we still in America. This is America.
See, my grandma.
Childish Gambino.
My grandma was black and Native American, and she married a guy who was interracial, who was black and no, actually he was Italian and Native American.
Black and Native American.
Yeah, so
Italians black. The
so
Moors.
back then, they were telling me of, she told me of the stories of when in the Fox Theater, she had to go to the back with her husband.
In the back. And
Yeah.
she got to go in the back. See, like my mom and them in the Fox Theater, they had to sit on the up top. And she was like, I don't know why they let us go on the up top. Because you know what they used to do? Spit on them, throw their popcorn and drinks off of the balcony. They was like, I got y'all. They used to do it, and they couldn't do nothing about it because you couldn't really
Tell who
it was. And I was like, y'all was dangerous because they was really lynching and shooting black folks back then. But this was metropolitan Atlanta. So, they were trying to keep that out of mainstream media, which is why we got the airport and all of those places. Because it was supposed to go to Birmingham. But because Birmingham was so upfront segregated and Bull Connor was like, we ain't have none of this. The airport was like, well, we can't have the airport there. And they was like, Atlanta's over here. We segregated too, but we not like that. Come on over here and build y'all airport over here. Yep. Thank you, Maynard Jackson. Because they brought up, thank you. And you know what? Thank you, Bull Connor, fool. Because, because of how foolish he was, it allowed Maynard Jackson to be able to say, hey, come on over here where we are more progressive, which we were, more progressive than Atlanta, and going from there. That's, I dropped my phone because my case broke up. So it's the same phone. It's a Galaxy Note 10. Shout out to Galaxy. But my wife got one of the folding joints. Yeah, man, it's actually pretty nice.
How does it look when you're watching television shows?
It looks good. You don't see the seam in the middle. So they've created. So was it Gorilla Glass? Was the first type of glass they were using for cell phones because it was very durable, and this was a military product. So a lot of technology comes from the military a lot of times, but They were using Gorilla Glass. Now they've made it, and so they started with the curvy TVs. When they started making the curvy TVs, they started to advance on that technology of the screens, so they could start to fold them. And that's why we got the folding cell phones.
Honestly, I'm scared
the flip
of it.
phones.
You let me know because I feel like I'm gonna break it.
It's not going. They're very durable. They're very durable. You can drop those because the screen is on the inside. It's not going to break. You might jostle it a little bit. The old flip phones. So it's that same. So people were like, because people kept dropping these, and I guess they kept listening to people like, and they were probably more so the higher ups than the people who were buying. They were like, you know what? But it's another way to get people to go out and buy a new piece of technology, a new piece of hardware, I should say, to get those flip phones out there.
Christmas technology to buy.
Christmas technology to buy.
Oh, Christmas technology to buy during Christmas. We finally decided to get Wi-Fi cameras.
Okay.
So now because of that, it transpired into getting a new phone so you can use the system, and transpired to also getting things like Echo for
your house to be able to
talk
go through
to Alexa and stuff like that. So now I'm teaching my mom to talk to an AI. She's like, I don't want to ask too many questions. I don't want her to get mad at me. I'm saying, Mom, this is an AI. It doesn't have feelings.
hey, Mama know. You still got to worry about that AI. They might be trying to get you in your sleep. Trying to get you in your sleep, man. Better watch out. But technology to buy. That's a good question. Do
you think it's a good time to buy graphics cards yet, or you think it's still kind of pretty high? I think it's still pretty high, right?
Graphics cards are still pretty expensive, but I don't know. I'm still waiting. I'm kind of waiting because I really do. Technology gets smaller, cheaper, easier. I'm waiting for them to make the laptops to where I can really do what I really, really, really need to do. But I say I'm not heavy in rendering stuff. But, you know, for what I do, I'm good with what I got. I was talking about, I had a parent call me. They got his daughter wants a gaming something, wants a PC and I was like, well, because you have a child, PCs lock you down in one space. Children move around. Children are so used to, and if you want your child to stay in their room, great. But if you can get you a durable laptop, like the HP Almond is pretty durable. It runs you between $800 to $1,000 depending on everything you get put in it. Okay. And for what they're doing, see, they're not heavy producers right now. They're not rendering nothing heavy.
But for video games that they're playing though, or if they decide they want to stream. What would you personally recommend? I'd
still recommend the HP. This has not failed me yet, and I don't stream heavy duty. Now I'll let you use this before, so I'm gonna defer to you on the streaming because you've used one of my big boys, the 17.5 inch, my 2500.
Well, okay.
Laptop.
So,
how did it work for you?
I mean, it works nice. So mainly for me,
I'm getting a French fry.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
So for those who are looking for something, an upgrade for their kids, depending on the age, you definitely, if you want to use a laptop, like you said, it's good for mobile. But if they're playing video games on it, I'm gonna let you know right now, you might want to give them a keyboard, because mashing keyboards, if they're a keyboard and mouse kind of person, they're gonna mess up the keyboard on the actual laptop. So you do still need to think about peripherals from it.
That's it. That's right there. Boom. You hit me. You asked me, what's the kind of technology that needs to be bought for Christmas? Peripherals.
Yes.
Get some peripherals. Okay. There are. You can get some good headphones that are good price. You get good mice that are good price and good keyboards that are good price to add to what they already have.
I actually recommend the HyperX Mix Cloud, because that one's actually a Bluetooth headset that the kids can actually, plug in, headset with a mic and into their computers, or they can unplug the microphone and they can use it without it. They can go working out with it. They can take it with their phones. It's so multi-use on that one, and especially those who get like a lot of gamers, not all gamers, but a lot of them tend to be introverts. So sometimes when they do go out to another setting and it's like a little overstimulation, they can just easily put their headset on, watch a TV show or go into a game or something like that? Oh,
Nah. We are coming to the end.
oh
So no. But you helped us out for next week. Next week's episode
shopping list.
is going to be your Christmas list, your shopping list for the holidays, and we're gonna go through every segment and say, well, what should you be getting, gaming, when it comes to art, animation, whatever, music, esports, and film. What's out there that you should be looking at? The new technology, the technology that's durable. When I used to my best friend is a car guy, and whenever I wanted to buy a car, I would call him first because he was reading up on what was good for what I needed. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Booyah! So y'all, I know we're gonna have to. This is great. Thank you to Chemical from Atlanta Gamer Life for joining me because I was feeling lonely. I was so lonely. Nah, I'm just kidding. But you know, I can always. This is my producer, y'all. So y'all hear me talking behind the gun. You know, we got Jay Black back down the ones and twos.
He's also
and we got the other Kim from Connecting the Dots. She up in the house. Shouts out to Connecting the Dots. She hung out with us on the set here at the Live Hip Hop Daily Studios. So check out her podcast out too. Again,
Absolutely.
if y'all hear me talking about stuff, y'all hear me connecting some dots about industry and history and all that stuff. Y'all really want to learn something. Y'all need to check out Connecting the Dots for real. For real. Got to.
Good stuff.
Good
and
stuff.
real stuff. It's not fake. It's not, she will tell you the real deal on what's going on in these streets.
In these streets, shout it.
Woo woo.
I know she from up north, but it's all good. She down. She a Georgia Peach now. She down south, so we claim her. We was talking about 3-6 Mafia and the verses with Crazy Bone, and we was just reliving our college lives. listen to that Southern crunk music when she was just running around and she was like getting crunk out here. Like, see, they weren't getting crunk like that up in New York. They don't do that. They do that. They do they step shuffles. That's kind of their whole thing. They turn. Man, what was that movie? And speaking about movies, last thing, and we're gonna shut this thing down. And this is one of those appropriation type of things. What them Step Up series. Oh. What was the first one? Wasn't the first one set in New York? Step Up, or what was the? It was the one. Okay, the one where the white girl was a ballerina, and it was the black guy. He was in the club. It was set in New York though. It was set in New York.
I think it was in New York.
It might Step Up or make us change. It wasn't called Step Up. It was called Let's Dance or Shall We Dance or. It was someone. We're gonna look it up after when we sign off here. We're gonna look it up. But
maybe
anywho,
you guys could give us a.
I know. Hit me deal. Hey. GameFi Podcast, Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram. Put him in. And then also, you know what? Next week, I'm going to do a list of my shout outs for everybody that's been following us on the GameFi Podcast. Thank y'all so much for everything. And guess what, y'all? There go those sirens. Here come them peoples. They telling us it's time to go. From the GameFi Podcast, Coach E, Crane Violet, DJ Scratch and Sniff, MC such and such, Mama that go that man. What's up, y'all? Thank y'all again. We'll see y'all again real soon. Got Chemical right over here. Atlanta Game Life. Got Kim with Connect the Dots. We got Jay Black with Live Hip Hop Daily Studios. We all up in here doing our thing here in the Atlanta GA and the ATL. Shout out with make it greater cause we from Decatur. All that good stuff, man. Thank y'all so much again. This has been the GameFi Podcast. Peace up. A-Town down.